Look at this photograph. Every time it makes me laugh. When people think of Atlus or Sega, they think of two of their most iconic characters, Sonic the Hedgehog and Joker from P5. But what if I told you that together, these two tiny independent studios created one of the biggest cultural staples in modern Japan, something that began as a humble photo sticker booth marketed for kids. The year is 1995 and Japan is currently experiencing economic stagnation due in large part to the asset price bubble bursting. This era is often referred to as the lost decade. Coinciding with this economic turmoil, we find that arcade culture in Japan has resurged. Games like Street Fighter II, Virtua Fighter, and Fatal Fury King of Fighters revived the popularity of arcade gaming to a level not seen since Pac-Man's heyday. Meanwhile, game developer Atlus and games company Sega collaborate. They intend to create a new tenant for the arcade and called it the Print Club. You see, Atlus began as a computer game developer, but after what I can assume was a very successful first year that involved developing Digital Devil Story Megami Tensei and not releasing it until the following year, they decided to branch off into the thrilling world of commercial amusement machines. So they sold some unspecific equipment used for what sounds like arcades. They also got into the karaoke business. Atlus also opened up its own arcades, Moo Continent and Game Panic among other things, during this time, and suffice to say, Atlus was quite knowledgeable about the arcade space. I'm not going to get too into the Sega side, but Sega also knew about arcade culture very well as well, having been involved with the culture since the 60s. They came together to create a new staple of the arcade. The Print Club concept was invented by a 30-year-old at the time, Sasaki Miho, a female employee at Atlus. Her idea was based on her experiences of putting cute stickers of Japanese characters on her notebooks when she was younger. For 300 yen, or roughly $2.80, you can stand in front of a video monitor which shows your face, choose the desired frame, pose for the photo, decorate the photos, then you wait for a sheet of 16 photo stickers, which the machine spits out in about a minute. This idea was brought up to Atlus, who saw it and they immediately rejected it. But eventually, Atlus saw the potential of the idea. Such an innovative idea would surely become a hit as soon as it was released to the world. So naturally, when these beautiful booths hit arcades, there was not much interest. It wasn't until the J-pop group SMAP gave Print Club photos of themselves to their audience while on TV that Print Club really started to shine, and Print Club started to become popular. Other groups and idols followed SMAP's lead, and it started a craze. By 1997, teenagers wanted to take as many photos as possible. This also was carried by the Kogel boom. Kogel are loose socks and were a fashion staple for some girls in Japan at the time. These girls would often carry around photo booth books full of Print Club pictures. So thank you, ISA, for your service. Your Kogels aren't just warming your lower legs, but they are also warming the hearts of megatenists everywhere. By the spring of 1998, there were 50,000 Print Club machines and many other copycats on the market. And reportedly, this raked in some serious dough, racking $500,000 in revenue in its first year. This trend would eventually fall though. By the mid-2000s, the profit generated was only around $300,000. Unfortunately, Print Club was, as I explained, mostly aimed at young women and children. One of the negative aspects of this was a phenomenon of targeted harassment via perverted men trying to sneak unsavory photos of women and children. These incidents led to many arcades with Purikura machines banning young or old men unless they were escorted by a woman. Although this was popular, the image quality stayed pretty consistent in its early days and machines functioned pretty simplistically. Most of the machines offered frames and stickers you could add to the photo, not unlike the modern machine. The original ones were guided loosely by Jack Frost, though he was not really prominently known as Jack Frost. His association to the Sega Atlus machines was so great that many fans just often referred to him as Mr. Purikura. His bond with the machines also prevented Cosmo Kaneko from redesigning him, which was an idea that Kaneko had been strongly considering around this time. Speaking of Kaneko, he and Panama Koji Okada aren't the only big deals who cameo in the live-action Devil Summoner television show. The Print Club machines and Mr. Purikura himself feature in an episode. The success of the Print Club machines brought its own subculture of copycat styles and spin-offs. A stylistic element of the photos which became very popular was large eyes, called Sakipuri. Copycats such as Bandai Namco, Omron, and Kopuri, to name a few. And eventually, to capitalize on its popularity, Sega and Atlus released variants such as Stamp Club, a rubber stamp of your face in the frame of your choice. Name Club, for business cards, you get your name and phone number only, featuring a cartoon character. Movie Club, 6 poses of an animated image. Calendar Club, 1 sheet for a desktop calendar with your face on it. Aura Photo Club. Aura Photo Club captures your aura around your head and shoulders. Amber is the color of my energy. And even Aroma Club, which dispenses a vial of fragrance which the machine selects after the user answers a few health questions. The aroma is then supposed to help ease the user's health ailment. Then there was also Voice the Holder, which is a keychain with a voice message that you record in the booth. You can then give them to a person you want to give the message to. Imagine recording a message just like, help me, help me. And you just give it to the boy of your dreams. Print Club also made its way into the home with Purikura Daisaku-sen. Admittedly, this spin-off of the Power Instinct franchise doesn't really have anything to do with Print Club outside its curious abbreviation for its protagonist, Princess Clara, aka Purikura. The game was meant to be called originally Glittering Kurakura Daisaku-sen, but that name was changed and it's unclear whether Purikura comes from the name of the game or if the popularity of the machines led to the game being named Purikura as well. Sorry, I can't give a definitive answer regarding that, and I'm sure all of you guys are really looking forward to that unsolved bit of trivia. Anyway, the Print Club made its way to handheld as well, in the form of Purikura Pocket, incomplete schoolgirl manual, released in 1997, as well as Purikura Pocket 2, Boyfriend Remodeling Operation, released 2 months after the first game, and Purikura Pocket 3, Talent Debut Daisaku-sen. These games have nothing to do with Purikura to my knowledge, really. One is a game about walking in the city and saving money from an in-game part-time job. One is training your boyfriend into being the kind of boyfriend you want him to be. I gotta talk about this one. This one has 5 boy types you train. An ordinary boy, he's the default. Depending on how good or bad you do, your boyfriend's quality will shift. A higher quality boyfriend is the fun boy. They are high in kindness. Then there's the smart boy. They're even better than the fun boy. They are smart, so they are high in intelligence. Then there's the lower tier boys. The don't be stupid. Yes. It's a boy who is stupid and most of his abilities lower than the average boy you started with. And worst is like a cow. What? What? What does that mean? This seems to be saying the boy is fat, maybe? And he's worse in every other way except your affection, your affection. Your affection. Sorry. Anyway, this game has 2 mini games, a diet puzzle, a game that improves the stats of your character, and slots. This is a gambling game to improve your worst ability, or accidentally worsen your best ability. And the last is a bunch of mini games disguised as a talent show. And I gotta take a break. Why? Why? Why don't these have an HD remaster, Atlus? There's also 2 more Purikura games that I know of anyway. Anytime Purikura Kira Deco Premium and Jumping Photo Booth Kira Decoration Revolution. These are straight up Print Club. You use your Nintendo DSi to take photos and save them onto your SD card. You then take the photos and you print them out. The first game is interesting because it's narrated by Mai Goto. She plays a character I couldn't find easily in episode 18 of Persona 4's first anime, aptly titled Persona 4 The Animation. The second game is basically a 3DS port of the first, now with stereoscopic frames and stickers. Last weird little tidbit that I didn't want to mention because then you other collectors prices will make it impossible for me to buy, but one of the rarest Game Boys is actually an Atlas Game Boy Pocket. From the little I could gather online, this Game Boy was something given to staff and celebrities for promo. Why would a celebrity want a Game Boy Pocket, let alone one that says Atlas Purikura on it, is anyone's guess. I feel like I kinda digressed a lot right here. Anyway, Print Club became an icon and staple of Japanese culture, seen in such anime such as Love Hina and Daily Life with a Monster Girl, an honor befitting the name. Ignoring all the copycats, Atlas and Sega really tried to capitalize on the popularity by releasing many different models with classic names such as Print Club Volume 3 and Print Club Love Love and Print Club Olive. They would also use popular intellectual properties such as Hello Kitty, Looney Tunes, and even Pokemon, which got its own machine. Speaking of, in 1997, Atlas tried to bring this craze over to the West and to Asia, and they failed miserably. They couldn't get it to catch on in the rest of Asia, and they reported that the sales was actually in a deficit in places like Singapore. They also experimented in China and had to close up shop only after 3 years of trying. And as punishment for China not playing Purikura, they got Nocturne HD.
Oh my god.
That was their punishment. Eventually, Atlas bowed out of the Print Club biz in 2013 due to a little financial trouble among other things. Though, Sega revived the Print Club IP in 2020 during a pandemic. Unfortunately, this year has been a horrible one for Sega due to their large stake in the arcade and resort businesses, deciding to sell off their businesses managing arcade centers. Though this relaunch of the Print Club isn't in the same boat, as even still, the concept of the Print Club is popular and clinging to life support. Purikura can be found in every game arcade, amusement parks, department stores, or shopping malls located in Japan. In Japan, you'll notice at least one floor is jam-packed with flamboyant, ear-splitting machines at most every arcade. The most popular Print Club destination in Japan is the Purikura no Mecca, located in Shibuya. If the arcade culture survives the pandemic, then we may see Print Club revitalized for a new hip generation. Just keep in mind every time you use a filter or stickers or effects from apps such as Instagram or TikTok that they have an ancestor in the Print Club. And if there's one thing to take away from this video, it's that the second Pocket game is clearly right after Shin Megami Tensei 4 in the Amala Network timeline. Anyway guys, thanks for watching this video and goodbye fellow Megatenists.